Okay, so this is very interesting. I'm compiling a list of videos that I really like. And this one of Jeff mining gold in the Australian outback is really interesting.
This is what I'm talking about. These are fissure-filling vein structures. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a quartz vein running inside of this quartz monzonite.
The thing that really intrigued me about this video was the way that Jeff was looking for specific signs in the field to show him where the gold is.
Running through it, and then you have hydrothermal fluids that have come up through. As they've come up through, of course, they drop in temperature and pressure, and then they begin to solidify and crystallize. And if there's any mineral assemblages in with that, they'll drop out of solution as well. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. See this? This is a quartz vein that was running through this rock, like I showed you earlier. It was like this. It had a small fracture in it, just enough for those hydrothermal fluids to get in there. As they came to the surface, they began to cool, the pressure and temperatures dropped, began to crystallize. You can see that I have, these actually were cubes of pyrite at one time. And
the pseudomorphs are very interesting. Pseudomorphs are one mineral that has changed into another. And this is quite common with pyrite.
in any gold, it'll be in this area here. We have all this limonite and all this mineralization here. Do you see that? Look at that. Oh, isn't that nice? See that?
And in this specific area, Jeff is also looking for the iron staining. Once you find the iron staining, it might be an indication that there might be gold as well.
A lot of quartz out here, this bull quartz that has that iron staining on it, it's from all those pseudomorphs that are weathering away. And that's where your gold will be. Ooh, look at all that float. Ooh, let's chase it up the hill. Chasing it up the hill, baby, yeah! Oh, look at what I see. Look at that big old bunker.
It shows you that the hydrothermal vein gets bigger as he goes up the hill, and he's also looking for the staining that's in that hydrothermal vein.
Yeah, look at that. Even more. Ooh, a little bit of mineralization in this one. That's a good sign. There's got to be a vein, or if not several veins. It's coming from up there on top of the hill. And you can see where you've got little inclusions of iron, which used to be pyrite. See those cubes in there? Huge vein structure right here. See that? Oh yeah. Oh, we're getting closer. Look at that. That's right, it's a good place for a metal detector too.
And then he finds this, a plant that only grows where certain types of mineralization is found. Now, when I was up in Zambia, I was shown different plants in different areas, and there's certain plants that only grow where there's a heavy deposit of copper. And that's very interesting. And the old timers knew this, and that is exactly where they went and they mined.
So I got this beautiful hillside here. There's tons and tons of float, and there's outcroppings all over the place, and a lot of them are heavily stained with iron from the pseudomorphs. A lot of staining, red staining, and that is a good sign. This is a trumpet plant. See that? See that little bulb on the end there? That's a trumpet plant. That's why they call it a trumpet plant, because it's swollen there. Anyway, they grow in heavily mineralized areas, and the old timers would look for these things because they were indicators of mineralized soil. A lot of black sand. It doesn't mean there's gold there, but it's a good place to look. I've checked lots of places with these trumpet plants, and it's hit and miss, so it's not a for sure thing. But if you're dry washing instead of metal detecting it, it's a good indicator, and that's what I would recommend. You hear that trailing off, that bing, like a laser beam? Hot rock. Don't even mess with it. Now, another problem is the end of these cords on the search coil. If they hit these bushes, see that? When you're swinging your detector, try not to do your pendulum swing. I've seen too many people do that. Focus on keeping that coil to the soil. I found one of the veins. Look at how heavily mineralized that quartz vein is. See it right here? It's running all through here. There's a big section of it right here. See that? There's so much iron in there. So this is the vein, and this is what we're looking for. You're gonna slowly grid this area off, metal detect it. If the pieces sound off and you can't see visible gold in them, break them open. If that doesn't work, then crush them down. If the ground is too hot, back off on your sensitivity. See that?
He piles that sand into his little scoop, and then he holds it over the metal detector. And yes, it's in that scoop. Then he puts some of it in his hand, and then he checks the scoop again. And finally, the gold is in his hand. And once it's in his hand, he then puts it back in the scoop, and he blows away the dirt, and then he finds it.
Out flat. Gonna rake that area out flat. Okay, it's over here. When you're running that search coil, don't be afraid to drag it on the ground. That's what these coil covers are for. You can wear those out all day long. Trust me, if you do this right, you'll go through one of these about once a week. Now you're gonna have hot rocks that sound just like gold nugget. So you're gonna dig everything that sounds like it, and I recommend wearing gloves. You don't know what's in there. Tap, tap, tap. Just
bingo, he's found it. A small piece of gold that will add up to his tally at the end of the day.
like that. Look at that munker. Can you see him? Right there. Oh yeah! Look at that munker, yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Always check your holes. And when you find targets like this, especially if they have quartz on them, they're referred to as specimens. Make sure...
Of specimens. Specimens are the little flowers of the earth. And so what Jeff is pointing out here, he says that if it's combined, the gold is combined with quartz, it might be worth more money to a collector as a specimen than just melting out that little bit of gold that's in that specimen.
You mark this on a map, because if you grid off this area, you'll start to see patterns form. And then that will show you where the source is at. And that is what you're really looking for. All right, let's keep going up this hill and see what we can find. See that? That's caliche. That's an artificial bedrock out here, because the real bedrock is about maybe a mile down. The gold's gonna sit on top of that. It's great for VLFs. These guys too, if you have the right coil. I've got the big deep seeker on there, so it might miss the smaller gold. Now we're gonna pinpoint it with the VLF. I like to set...
And now Jeff shares some finer points of how to actually operate a metal detector to find gold. The way that your metal detector has to be adjusted, all the different sounds. If it's too loud and if it's too sensitive, you'll pick up everything. And now he tunes it back a little bit, and then he goes back into a new area.
Fine. See this one on the sensitivity? All the way up where the black dot comes in, back off 1. And then for your coil depth, deep. And then of course for your volume all the way up. And you're looking for this top guy to do wobble pop. Watch. Yeah, that's a strong one too. See how easy it is to pinpoint that? There's this huge outcropping here of float. See this? Right there. Okay. Yeah, baby! Oh, wrong tool, wrong tool. Hush! All right, it's out of the hole.
And there he goes again. He's found one more.
Look, 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 look! Look at that marker!
Now that is a real specimen. Look how excited Jeff gets. I just love the energy and the excitement of this video.
It's huge! Oh, it's got iron in it too! Look at that marker!
So look out for the next video that we're going to show you. You will be amazed. Thank you. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.